This is they call it the love month. Uh, the month where people find their mates, they find their love. And it's an interesting month. Up and down, people run, buy gifts, and they get connected with other people. Now, the question that stands today is, where are all the good men and women? Because I've heard many people say that they didn't find someone, but where are they? Charlene Byars will tell us. This is Now Tell Us, and I'm your host, Anthony Werore. So let's go and meet our guest today at Now Tell Us to tell us where all those good men and women are. Here we go. Hi, Shireen.
Hello. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm really excited about this conversation that we're going to have today.
Yes, and we are excited to have you here to come and tell us.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today. This is going to be a great conversation.
yes, and where are you?
So I'm currently here and it's gorgeous today. So I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona in the US,
Oh,
United States, in Arizona.
that's cool.
Yeah. Where are you, Anthony? Where are you from?
I'm in Athens, Greece. All the way.
Oh, wow. Nice. Nice. You have to
Yeah,
come to Arizona. If you've never been out to the West, it's pretty amazing here.
I would
So,
love to. I would love to.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really,
Mm.
yeah.
And you're so welcome to come to visit Greece.
Oh, do you know that Greece is actually been on my, I have a list of places that I want to visit.
Hmm.
And I can't, obviously I'm like, I want to visit everywhere. But no, I kind of narrowed it down to certain places that I want to visit eventually. And I swear, like, Greece is magical to me. I've never been there,
Yeah.
and I've just heard, and I've seen movies and certain things, but like that is definitely a place that I want to visit. And so I think it's really cool that you're in Greece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and people come here for honeymoons
Yeah. Yeah.
after they've
No,
got.
people go for destination, right? For like vacations,
Yeah.
destination, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you live there all the time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Now, please tell us what you do.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I do. So, hi.
Hi.
So, my name is Charlene Byars. Yes, and I am a certified women's empowerment coach, but I specialize in relationships, and I actually specialize in dating. And because I really believe that one of the biggest decisions and the most important decisions overall that a human can make, like, as individual people, is really like comes down to who you choose to be your partner for life, or who choose to stay with. Because I've learned that whoever we're with is going to really truly like determine our overall happiness. Because if we're in relationships, so we're in romantic relationships, right? And if we're in a romantic relationships and things are good, like things are cool, because there's no perfect relationship, there's no perfect relationship. But let's say you're in a romantic relationship
Hmm.
and you are with someone that you have, alignment with. You're with someone that you guys have, love and respect. And you're with someone that you guys, figure things out as life happens. You figure things out. So there's no
Hmm.
perfect, but for the most part, you guys are able to, do life together, support each other, help each other. Let me just say something. That energy is really going to affect you. Okay. It's
Hmm.
really going to help you as a human to also be in a different vibrating energy to feel better. Okay. If you're
Hmm.
in a relationship and you're in a toxic relationship, okay, and you're in a relationship that it's a lot of fighting, there's not really, nobody's really communicating. There it can be, also very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
That energy is going to affect you no matter what, because you can't be in a romantic relationship. Think about this. You can't
Yeah.
be in a romantic relationship and have you and your partner be toxic, and then you try to be a happy person.
Impossible.
Impossible. It's impossible.
Impossible. Yeah.
So that's why I've learned, and this is why I'm doing the work I did. Because I'm just going to give you a little history. Do you want me to give you a little history?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So what happened to me was, and this is how this all got started, because the subject that I'm talking about today, in my eyes, and me, I believe
Mm-hmm.
it's the most important thing, because what I'm noticing is, like, there's so many things in life, right? There's so many things that we really desire and we think about.
Mm-hmm.
And we think about, of course, a lot of people were like, okay, I want to be successful. I want to have a good career. I want to make money. I want to, travel, all the things, all the things, all the things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But what I've learned is when you take all that down, what really people are truly desiring, and I'm speaking for the majority, not for everyone, but I'm really honestly speaking for the majority today.
Mm-hmm.
What people are truly actually desiring is real connection,
Mm-hmm.
real authenticity, really someone to actually do life with them, but get them, not what we're learning, what we're hearing when it comes to all these romantic relationships. So you hear a lot of this, like, oh, romantic relationships are hard and it's toxic and you fight. Okay, no, no, because when you're doing all that, then that's when you are putting yourself in such a disempowering position. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, what I'm noticing, and why I did this and why I started this, because I was prior to now. So I'm remarried now. Okay, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
remarried now. So I was married to my ex-husband for 23 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I was married to my ex-husband for 23 years, and I really was in love with this man, and I wanted to, spend the rest of my life with him. I wanted to grow old with him. We were building a life together. We have 4 children. We had 4 children. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had no like desires or anything to ever not be with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized in that marriage that things were hard, and that he's a good human being, but when it came to him and I in our relationship, like, we didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know how to like, honestly, like, even understand how it is to, like, resolve conflict. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I found in that relationship, it was a constant, like, just always feeling this restlessness, always kind of feeling like fighting, not really having the peace that I was truly desiring. And I was like, what is up? Like, is it really this hard? So I made a decision to leave that marriage,
Mm-hmm.
because I realized, after being with someone for so long, I was really trying to show up differently. I was really trying to do all the things, but he just didn't want to participate in that. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm not changing, hun. Like, I am who I am, and that's it. So I knew that I had to completely, for myself, remove myself from that marriage. Okay.
Okay.
And then I realized, and this is why I'm telling you, I'm going to talk to you about where all the good men, where all the good women. And I'll tell you what happened. I was a single woman for the first time, being, I'm older now, right? I was older. I was a single lady. I had 4 kids. And I started wanting to, like, eventually, after I was single for a moment, I wanted to start meeting people. I wanted to see, okay, is it, like, was it me, or can I really find someone to have a real alignment with? Is that even possible?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was, I started dating, and I was not meeting a lot of good people. And I was like, oh, like, I was actually, like, I was dating. I thought, what, hey, hi, I thought, okay, what's wrong? Let's go. And I was dating, and I kept noticing that, like, the guys that I was attracting were men that, like, honestly, they didn't want to be in a committed relationship. They just wanted to sleep with me. And so I was attracting men that, that it wasn't what I was desiring. So I started really asking myself that question.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, where are all the good men? And the same thing is like, where are all these good women? Because we're saying that there's all these good people. So
Yeah.
I realized something. There are actually a lot. This is so cool.
Mm,
There's a lot of good men out there.
mm,
And there's actually a lot of good women. What was happening is I was stuck in what I'm noticing with the majority of us right now. It's this
mm,
loop. We're in a loop. Things are we're in this loop of things are so fast right now for all of us, okay?
mhm,
For all of us, it's so fast. We actually can't even keep up, okay? So
mhm,
it's almost like what happened with me is it was almost like I'm going on these dates and I was a woman and I didn't know this. I'm a really happy, loving, good human being. I really, this is who I am. I'm just a good person. And I try to just pride myself on just, doing the right thing, just trying to be a good person. I'm not perfect. I make all the mistakes too. But I'm just telling you, like, I was just trying to show up, just Charlene. I didn't realize something. I had such thoughts, limiting beliefs, things that I literally started thinking that there's no good men out there.
mm,
No, there's no good men. No, no, they're all jerks. All the women are jerkettes. There's just no good people. I had no idea when I was dating that that was actually my mindset.
mm.
Okay. That was my mindset. Let me see if we're gonna like shift this a little bit. There's so much good information here today, and I know we only have a short amount of time, so I'm trying to give everyone the best I can give in this short amount of moment. Okay. So
Okay.
okay. So why did I not find these good men? And I'm telling you, and it's the same thing. This goes with men looking for women. Okay, it's the same thing. What I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, same things. But let me just because I'm the woman, so let me just talk about me finding a man. My story.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So what was going on with me? Why wasn't I finding the guys that I was attracted? Why wasn't I attracting men that also wanted to be in a long-term relationship? Men, these men, they're like, hey, I want a woman, I want to be in a long-term relationship. I don't want to like date anymore and do all that stuff anymore. I'm looking for my partner. Okay.
Mhm,
What I realized was two things. First was I really had to get clear on my mindset.
mhm,
And I really had to stop doing basically what I was doing. What I was doing was I was going on these dates with people and truly almost like as if they like a job interview. I would go on these dates with these guys and I would just like not true. I thought I was being myself, but the honest truth, I was not being myself. I was such in this different energy. I was a woman. I'm a very feminine woman, but I was very in my masculine energy. So I would go, it's like I was almost kind of competing with guys. So I was, so it didn't matter how you look physically, because even if you look physically, if I'm showing up very masculine, right, and I want a man to be able to be in a romance with me, I was like, the men just didn't know what to do with me. They were just like, oh no, it just, I was not attracting the mans that I wanted. And I wanted a man to be emotionally available, and I wanted a man to just get to know me and I get to know him. But my energy was, is he the right one? What is he going to do? Is he going to kill me? Is he this? Is he I mean, the guy was like, oh my God, lady, calm down. So it was just like, oh my goodness. So I had to do some work. I
mhm,
had to figure out, why am I looking at things so negatively? Why do I feel that, all the men are bad? Why am I going out with that energy? And how am I talking to women? So then I found myself, me and my girlfriends, we didn't realize this. We would be in dialogue and it was just negative. It was very negative. It was
mm.
like, oh, the men this and the men that and the men. It was truly putting all the blame on other people, but not even taking a moment to look inwards.
Okay.
Not even taking a moment to look inwards. And then
Mhm,
another thing I realized, when I started shifting my mindset and I found out why I felt the way I did, well, a lot had to do with because I already came from, remember, I was already married for 23 years. So a lot of the ways that I was thinking was only based on what I just experienced with my ex husband. But that doesn't mean every man's going to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I already came with all this stuff. I already came with all this stuff. So when you're
Okay.
already coming with all this stuff, what do you think you're going to start attracting? You're going to attract stuff that is equal to what you're already coming with. You're not
Exactly.
going to think about that. You're not going to be able to like think negative that how I was thinking, there's no good men, all the men, play games. Well, that's what I kept getting. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
was literally putting out in the universe until I shifted my mindset and I did some inner work. Everything started changing for me. Everything started changing for me. It was honestly almost like night and day. I went from not attracting people and not finding good men, you guys. Like seriously, I was like, oh, this is not gonna happen, to relaxing, to chilling out a little bit, to being able to slow the whole thing down. So that's another thing that's happening. The reason why we're not finding good men and good women, because they're plenty. They're all out there. I swear they're out there. They're everywhere. You can go anywhere in the whole world and you'll find somebody. I'm just telling you right now. It really, you can't. The reason why is also because we rush. The way that we're doing things is not working. People get into committed relationships even before they even know who the person is. So
Mm-hmm.
people get into, so women and men, they commit to one another even before they actually know who each other is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's think about this. When you are out and about and you are a single person, a man or a woman, and you're just getting to know different people, okay? Because that's what dating is for. It is truly like if you're a single person, you're like, you know what, Charlene, I actually want to, I'm looking to attract someone that have true alignment with me. Okay, how do you do this? I'm going to teach you right now. How do you do this? First
Mm-hmm.
of all, you have to go under the hood first and find out what you believe first. What do you believe? Do you believe that there's some good men out there? Do you believe that all men are jerks, or do you believe that they're good women out there? Like, what is it that you believe? Okay. So you have to figure out what it is that you believe. After you figure out what it is that you believe, you have to get real. You have to get real with yourself. You have to ask yourself some really good questions. You have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm actually really looking for? And how do I want to feel in a relationship? What is it that I want to feel in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just going out in the world and you don't have an idea of what it is that you want to feel and what it is that you truly have, your values and what it is that you want for your life, if you are not clear on that, then you are not going to be able to attract what you are actually wanting to attract. So that's the first thing. You got to get clear on what it is that you want and what do you want to feel. So I always tell women all the time, I said, so when you think about dating and you think about, being in a relationship and you think about like what it is that you want, it really comes down to what do you want to feel? So a lot of women will tell me, this is what they hear, and men tell me certain things too. Today I have a short amount of time, so I'm just keeping it really simple right now. But a lot of women will tell me, Charlene, I want to feel safe. I want to feel safe with the man. You know what I mean? And I don't mean just safe physically. I want to feel safe emotionally. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that I'm with a man that emotionally, that he's emotionally also available for me. Okay? That he's emotionally available for me. Because if you are with people that are not emotionally available, you know what's going to happen. they're
Mm-hmm.
they're going to put all their stuff on you and they're going to blame you and it's just going to be chaos, right? So you have to be able to understand what it is that you want. So when women get to do this, another process, and I teach this to men and I teach this to women. When you first meet someone and you approach dating the way I'm going to explain it to you, you actually do not end up in relationships that don't serve you. You don't end up in relationships that you're like, what happened here? Because
Mm,
you are slowing things down and you're going through a process I'm about to teach. So I teach this process in how to really get to know another human being. So when you first meet someone, a lot of us have this view of who we think that person is. Let me give you an
mhm,
example. So right now, you and I, let's say for example, you and I, we just went on a date. You and I going on a date right now. Okay. Hi.
mhm.
So we're
Yeah.
on a date. Okay. So right now, based on like how you're kind of talking to me, your physical appearance, whatever it is, I'm already, as a human, this is what we do. I already have a picture frame on who I think you are. Okay.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
don't know you, but I'm already, this is what we do as human beings. We already have this picture frame on who we think he is. So let's
mm,
say, for an example, so you and I are on a date, and this way you got to slow everything down. So we're on a date, right? And anybody can say anything they want. Anybody can be anything. So you could be on a date with me, and I can tell you anything I want. You either can believe it or not believe it, right?
mm.
Is
Yeah,
it true? Is it true what I'm saying? How do you know if it's true or not? Time will tell.
yeah.
Time is going to tell you all the things that I'm saying if it's true. Okay.
Mhm,
So right now, let's say for an example, so I'm on a date with you and you're talking. And let's say you are, let's give an example. Let's say you're a man that's not so nice. Let's say you're a man that's just wanting one thing for me. Okay. But
mhm,
you are saying all the right things. Okay. Since I
mhm,
tell women, I tell men. So for an example, so let's say we're on a date and you're talking and you have a sense of humor. All of a sudden, remember, I'm already thinking I know you. All of a sudden, you have a sense of humor like my father. So all of a sudden, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how cute. He's just like my dad. Oh, this is wonderful. No, it doesn't mean you're like my dad. It just means that you have a little bit of a sense of humor like my dad. Okay.
mhm,
How do you get to know someone? So this is how you do it. First, you actually have to get to know somebody. Once you give yourself time to really get to know someone, because this is the deal, there should be no rush when it comes to getting in a committed relationship. You should not ever rush this, because if it's
mhm.
right and that person's for you, it's going to be fun. There's no rush. So if
Okay.
anybody ever feels like they have to panic or rush, then something's off. Because if it's right, there's no rush. They're not going anywhere. Okay.
Mhm,
So when you
mhm,
first get to know someone, you give it that time to really get to know someone. After you get to know someone, I take you to the second place. The second place, then you start trusting that person. When you start trusting that person, then you can start relying on that person.
mhm.
When you rely on the person is when you commit. When you commit is when you get physical. And I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Because if we are looking for a long-term relationship and we get physical before we actually get to know the person, that's going to just mess it all up. Because
Okay.
now you're going to be dealing with what I call our hormones, which will release. Okay, oxytocin will release once you get physical and have that physical bond with someone. A lot of
Mm,
people think that the physical part is already a relationship. You're not in a relationship just because you're physical with someone. But especially for women, as soon as a woman gets physical, we get this bond, and it's actually a false sense of real relationship because it's a bond. And what's happening is our critical thinking, and our body is automatically, the hormones are just going and it actually stops your critical thinking. This is what they call it, like when you're falling in love, they say that you don't know anything, like you make the craziest decision because you're it literally, when you have that bond with someone,
mhm.
it stops your critical thinking. So now you're in this relationship with someone, thinking you're in a relationship, but you're actually not in a relationship yet because you haven't even been in it. But the guy hasn't even asked you to be his girlfriend. You're not even,
Okay.
but you're already thinking you're in a committed relationship. So it is important, if we're looking for a great man and a great woman, to slow down and actually take your time, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I tell men and women, dating is all about getting to know different people. It's just about to get to know
Mhm.
different people. So when
Mhm.
we're dating, so typically this is how women date and this is how men date. Men got it right. Men know how to date. Okay. So when women date, let's say women are online, for example, right? So let's say I'm single woman, I'm getting to know people, I go on a date,
Yeah.
and then I automatically go home and I get offline. I get offline. And then I'm like, okay, I'm dating. And I just put all my eggs in one basket and I just date that one person. I don't even know who this person is. I don't even know anything about this person just because I liked them that first date. Now I'm thinking that I'm just committed to them. You're not committed to nobody. You're not committed to anybody until somebody asks you to be seclusive with them, or they ask you to be their girlfriend and you say yes.
Okay.
So if you are dating the way I teach dating, I always tell people, I said, date at least two or three people at a time, 100%. Because all you're doing is get to know different people. All you're doing is getting to know different people. You're not committing to anybody. You are not, right? You're not sleep. You don't have to sleep with anybody. You're not committing to anybody. You're not sleeping with anybody. You're really trying to see if there's real true compatibility here over time. Over time. Because anybody can have a little right then and there, right? Over time, you actually get to see all the things that they're saying if it's true. Over time, you get to feel what it is that you want to feel. Over time, you get to feel more warm and fuzzy with a certain person. Over time, when you're dating different people, one person you're going to feel more connected with, the other ones not so much. So you're really going to get to know what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for, and really start not having to be so disempowering and commit to someone before you even know who they are. And that's how you meet great people.
But I have a question there, and I know someone who's listening has the same question as I.
Tell me.
Now, as a man, when I see someone who is I am dating being dated by someone else, won't that give a red light like this lady is not committed? This lady is just everywhere and all over.
Well, it depends. Think about this. If you are a man
Mm-hmm.
that is also like completely secure in who you are, and you're a man that also is looking for a woman who completely just wants you, then a man is going to appreciate a woman, not just all of a sudden say, oh my God, you're the one. She's also going to be respectful. So if a woman is really attracted to you and really leaning more to you, then you know as a man, oh, okay, I'm the one. I'm the one. Because how can a man think or a woman think if you are dating and getting to know somebody? How would we ever either the man or the woman? Who the hell are we to think that that person they don't even know us should not talk to other people and get to know other people? That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody owes anybody anything. You don't owe a woman anything. A woman doesn't owe you anything. All you need to do as a man is get to know women, and you will pursue the one that you're feeling the alignment with. You're going to pursue the one that's, you know what I mean? That you're like, oh, she's into me, I'm into her. If you
Mm-hmm.
have another woman, if you're dating women, and let's say you're dating a woman that's just playing games, because there's a lot of women like that too, right? There is. Don't
Mm-hmm.
date her. Bye. That's what I would do. I would not go on with the date with that lady anymore. So if you really like a woman and you know that woman is honest and she's dating other people, remember, we're not sleeping with people. We're just getting to know different people. Then as a man, then it's up to you to really step up and be like, hey, I really like you. Will you be exclusive with me? If she's like, yes, then that's it. Then the dating's done. And now you got yourself a girlfriend. Right. And if she's like, and if she says no, then you move on. So you never
Mm-hmm.
have to worry, because a man also the same thing as a woman. A man needs to position himself. He needs to choose women that are into him. He needs to choose women that are also really showing him that they're into him.
Okay. Wow. So Today we have Charlene here. Charlene Byars is telling us where all the good men and women.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. She
We're just
says
not
they're
seeing them.
everywhere.
We're just not seeing them. We're rushing, rushing.
Yeah. So we are rushing and we are going to them with a picture. We put them in a frame. We try to fit them there. And then
There's a story. I want to tell you a little story. Do we have time?
you can tell us a little story.
So there was this girl. This is what happens. This is
Mm-hmm.
why you have to slow things down. And this is why I teach what I told you what I teach, to get to know someone, to trust someone, to give it time. So let's say you got invited to a party. So this girl got invited to a party. She's a
Mm-hmm.
single lady. She gets invited to a party. Her girlfriend had a party. She went to the party. She's at the party. She's at the
Okay.
party. She's having a good time. She looks and she sees this guy. This guy's a nice looking man for her. She's attracted to this guy. She's had a little chemistry. Anybody can have chemistry. So she's at the party. She sees this guy. She likes the guy. Everything's cool. So then the guy and her start talking. He's talking. She doesn't know him. He's just talking. So she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "How are you?" He's like, he has a good sense of humor. So she's already feeling good. Like, oh, he has a nice sense of humor. This must be a really good guy. So she asked the guy. He's good looking. He has a nice talking. Remember, her friend invited this guy over. So then she asked the guy. She said, "What do you do for a living?" The guy says, "I'm a pediatrician." The lady goes, "Oh, a pediatrician." Well, she's thinking to herself, "Oh my God, the guy's a pediatrician. He obviously loves kids. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is perfect. Like, this is wonderful. He's a good man. He looks good. He's a good man." And so all of a sudden she's feeling her picture of this guy is she's trusting him. You can't trust anybody until you give it time. That doesn't make any sense. You have to give it time to really know who this person is. So then she's thinking, "Oh, okay, he's a pediatrician. He likes kids. He's good looking. He's at my friend's house. I won the lottery. Holy moly, I won the lottery." So then they start making out. So now she started making out with this guy, and she's really having this, like, she's like, "Oh my God, I never felt like this before. Oh my God, this feels so good." And she's making out with this guy. She's making out with yeah. The next thing she know, she like the next thing he's like, "Hey, you want to go out tomorrow?" They went out tomorrow, and now the third day, now she's sleeping with the guy because she's so into the guy because he's a pediatrician and he's so nice, and they have such a he's really nice, he's really good looking, he's a pediatrician. What the hell? What? So now she's sleeping with the guy. He hasn't asked her to be the girlfriend, but now she's sleeping with the guy. So now she's sleeping with the guy. This is how it happens. So now
Mm-hmm.
she's sleeping with the guy, and now she's thinking, "I'm in a relationship. I'm with my man. I'm in a man." The guy is not in a relationship yet because remember, he hasn't asked her to be his girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in a relationship until someone asks you to be exclusive or be your girl. And then you have to say yes or no. And then you're in a relationship. Then you're in a committed relationship. Until then, you're not in a committed relationship. So then what happens? So as time going by, 3 months go by, she starts noticing something. Something's really off. Something's really off. And she can't put her finger in it because remember, she's into the guy. She's very sleeping with him. This guy, every time that they're out, he's really friendly. When they're out and about with other people, he's Mr. Friendly and he's all sweet. But let me tell you something, when they're alone, he's not so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. He says things like he makes these little comments and she's like, "Ooh, what?" Like a little jab. And she's like, "Oh, that's not very nice." But she's blowing it off because remember, she already thinks that he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And she was ready, like, we're really sleeping with each other. So I'm in a committed relationship. Well, guess what happens? 2 months go by. And she's noticing, damn, this dude is moody. Oh my God. Like his energy is so freaking moody. I didn't even, he's so negative.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he's always blaming everybody else for all his problems. He doesn't take any responsibility for anything that's happened in his life. He always blames everybody else. Then guess what happens? Another month goes by. Her girlfriend calls her and she's like, "Guess what? Something was off." And I realized something. You've been blind, girlfriend. Like you like in I don't know what highlight. I don't know where you at. I did some research. You know this guy that you're dating? Do you know that he's actually not a fucking excuse my language. He's not a pediatrician. Do you know that he's been fired for abuse with children?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, this lady's gonna be like, "What is going on?" All this happened because she didn't slow things down. She didn't slow things down. She just assumed just by what he was saying
Mm-hmm.
that she knew who he was. She just assumed this guy was a great guy. That's bullshit. You don't know anybody. So when you slow things down and you give and you put the power back in yourself and you slow it down and you're like, okay, it's not what people say. Let me just say this really loud and clear. Anybody can say anything. It's what they do. It's how they show up. It's say, I'm a very kind and respectful person. Show me. That's how you do it.
Show me. Wow, wow. Our time
I
is
hope that was helpful. I hope that explained how to slow things down and how to really find a good person.
yeah, thank you very much. And I believe those people who are listening and those who are watching are getting whatever it is that you said. You've got to slow down. Good men and good women are out there. You've got to
Yes.
get out there, but then you've got to slow down and take your time to know the person that you are dating. Take
Yes.
the time to know whether that's the character you want, that's the kind of person who is caring, and all the positive virtues that you may be pointing at and that you may be wanting in your life. Take your time.
Yes.
Don't rush into things.
Don't rush into things and really be around good energy and good people
Mm-hmm.
and really honor yourself. Honor yourself and honor yourself. And what does that mean? Slow down. Slow
Mm.
down. Honor yourself and really bring people into your life and really commit to people that love you, respect you, show up, say what they mean and say it and do it, not just talk and talk and talk and then do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important as human beings that we decide who we're going to bring into our life and who we commit to and who's in our energy. And so
Mm.
we need to pick great people to be in our lives. We need to be around good people because good, great people will just enhance your life. And then when you're not around good people, it will really detract from your life. So it's your responsibility as a human being because no one is making you be with anybody. You can't be in a relationship and be like, "Oh my gosh, no, you got to get out." If it's not good, you get out. And if you're going to go in, make it good. Make sure it's good because you can't change a human being. You can't change a person. That was me. I was married to someone that I actually thought I was going to change, and that's not true. So meet people where they're at. Believe people how they are. Believe them how they're showing you who they are. Don't excuse people. So showing if you're with somebody and you see that person disrespecting somebody else, that is who that person is. Don't
Mm.
make excuses for that person. Don't say, "Oh, they're having a bad day." Bullshit. That is they're showing you who they are. Don't make excuses for people because people will show you who they are. Give it time.
Give it time. And I see Shireen has much, much, much more to share. I hope we had much more time, but then our time is over.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
Our time is over, and we thank you for coming to our show today, Charlene, and
Thank you.
sharing those insights. Now, if people want to catch up with you, where do they get you?
So I'm all over. First, I would definitely say visit my website, which is www.charlenebyars.com. And I'm all on social media. So I'm on, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm MS Charlene Byars. Charlene Byars for everywhere. And then the only place that I'm different is on TikTok. If you like to have fun on TikTok, I am Level Up for Love on TikTok. And I have a lot of free resources and different ways to connect with me. And I would love to connect with you and further this discussion if this is something that's really resonating with you.
Wow. So that's Shireen, www.charlenebyers.com,
Right.
and get to
And I
know.
have get to
Yeah.
know me, and I have right now I have different programs, but I just launched a program called Chosen, and it's for successful single women looking for their soul aligned partner, like someone to really help them. So in my program of Chosen, it's a 3 months intensive program, and we get to work everything that we talked about today. We get to work on your past patterns, your limiting beliefs, what it really is to slow down and how to get to know someone, trust someone. We get to work through all that. I teach polarity, which I know we don't have time today. And polarity is all about how people have romantic with each other. I teach polarity, how to keep relationships thriving. And there's all kinds of good stuff. But really, what I do is I help women really come back to themselves and men and heal whatever needs to heal so they can go off and attract and be and have these amazing relationships first with themselves and with the people they love.
Oh, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Slow down, have a
Slow
relationship
down.
first with yourself and then with the people that you love.
Take care of yourself first. Yep. Find
Yes,
out what's going on with you.
yeah, care for yourself first. So, Charlene, before we go, what last words would you like us to hear that we should always remember?
This is what I've learned. I learned that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And always give yourself some grace. Whatever time you're hearing something new and new information, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like, you're doing something wrong or you have to change everything. No, just remember that what sometimes in life there's information that we don't hear because no one's teaching us. You grow up and no one really teaches, to be honest with you, about relationships or how to be in a relationship. So when you start hearing information and you start learning different things, just take it in and just apply it as you can, and just realize like the best thing that you can do is truly, in the end of the day, just love yourself and give yourself grace and understand that everything's going to be okay. I promise everything's going to be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay,
It's
says
going to be okay.
yeah,
Everything's going to be okay. Yes.
says Charlene Byars.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shireen, for your time and for
Thank you
everything
so
that
much.
you've shared. And we also thank our viewers and those who get to listen to this after we are through. We thank you also. Take your time to know
Take your time.
yourself and take your time to know the other person.
Yes.
Uh, Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right. It'll be
Yeah.
all right.
This has been Now Tell Us. I have been your host, Anthony Morore. And together with our guest today, Shireen Byers, we're saying everything's going to be all right. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Bye.